Come along, come along, come along. Let's go. All right. Hey, bro. How are you today?
I'm doing good.
Good?
Yes.
Like good or good?
Actually, I'm doing great.
Okay, that's even higher than good, right?
Exactly. I'm
Okay,
doing
great. So we started this conversation earlier, I think on the phone this morning.
Yep.
I was talking about, what's the difference between, a condo and a house, right? People ask questions a lot, right? How do I determine what I want, which is better for me, I want to buy? And then, of course, you and I we don't always agree. I mean, of course, that's the beauty of
Sometimes
it.
we do. It depends.
Well, maybe 1 out of 3.
Right.
but I think that's the beauty part of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is the fact that we have different perspective towards things. At the end of the day, the goal is to come to a meeting point where, I don't have to agree to what you agree with, but we can see value from what, everyone is saying, right? It's about our clients anyways.
Yes, 100%. And then at the end of the day, people have different needs, like different things. So
Yeah.
so what side do you want to be on? Because today we kind of like started it earlier today. Are you team condo? Am I team house?
My concern is that I'm always going to win you. That's the biggest concern for me.
You sound confident.
So
okay,
any side I take.
Okay, so take
right?
a stance.
You're a senior guy,
First of all, we're the same age.
But don't look. But if you're looking at me, I'm small.
I'm just
right. Yeah, you always look at me like I'm a small man. So I go all the way out. I do my research, and I'm always coming hard.
Okay.
But on a lighter note, I think I'll choose to be on the condo side.
Okay, so you're team condo.
Yeah, I'm team condo.
Okay.
So if you live in condo, I'm your buddy. If you want to buy a condo, if you want to buy a townhouse too, anyone, if you want to buy anything, I'm for you. But today I'm talking about condo.
Okay, so condo. So I'm team house. Okay, so I'll give you a con of condominiums. I'll start with that, like just a quote unquote something to consider. Like I always tell our clients, right? Number one, with condos, have you ever tried to come downstairs on a Monday morning going to work in a condominium building, especially when you live like on the 40th floor?
Okay.
Stressful.
Yeah, absolutely. Because of everyone is trying to get to work. Elevator, you're spending time with.
You have to wait for the elevator
to come.
I feel like you have to leave your house like maybe 20 minutes before time.
More or less like the way you calculate transportation.
Exactly.
Like just checking your map. Like you're also checking elevator map. But is that? I think condos should start thinking of something like that.
Like
the way if you go to the gym. Mm-hmm. I'm team fitness.
Right.
I go to the gym. Right.
He never forgets to remind me. You guys, I don't know why he's trying to take shots at me. Okay, go on.
So on my app, right? Okay. I won't mention that name because they didn't pay me for promotion.
Fair enough.
So you can always check how crowded it is.
Oh, are you serious?
Before you leave the house.
Oh, wow, that's nice.
It's going to show you how crowded the gym is. So if you're someone that
is that like a live reading of
because what it's doing is it's sending people in. So people scan. So when they come in, they scan. So it kind of like reads and do an algorithm of how busy it is. Of course, based on like if 80 people have scanned in within a particular period of time.
Right.
And I think over time they've kind of like do a predictive analysis to look at how long would someone typically take to spend at the gym. So if someone clocks in like 3, for example,
right,
they know that worst case, maybe over time, based on their predictive analytics, like maybe like an hour, 2 max. So the system is giving you based on that reading to say. So by the time you log in and check, how crowded the gym is, it's going to tell you, it's going to show you like a trend of how crowded it is. Right?
Oh, wow.
So I'm thinking of the same thing for condos, right? If they can create an app where, like on a Monday.
You're giving builders, this is a free.
I'm telling you, I'm giving builders free idea, right? Something I should actually, what do I call it?
Trademark.
I should trademark it and then they come to me, I sell it, right? So it's something like creating that kind of stuff for condominiums. Like before you check out in the morning, you can always see like how crowded. The same way you can check on your map how crowded the road is, right? To tell you how busy the road is. I think something like that. Just to show how product driven I am.
Yeah,
right? I think
innovative. That's actually a very, very innovative idea.
Yeah.
I don't know how it would work, but it's very, very innovative.
Yeah, for a very large
condominium,
very, very busy with like maybe like 500 apartments, can be a very, very might be a very, very good one. Yeah, a real value. Even a good selling point.
Yeah, so but that's my take though about that wait time. I mean, if you're going out of your house, going to work, you open your garage door if you have one. If not, it's just getting your car and you leave.
Yeah, but you know that when it's during winter, I mean, and it's like 30 feet or 30 cm inches, right, of snow. I mean, I don't know. You're going to spend maybe the first 30, 45 minutes trying to show snow.
Sure.
So but for a condo, you don't have to do that, right? Your car is in the garage on the ground, elevator down to the garage to the garage. Get into your car. You don't have to clean up the snow either from the tire. Your car is looking crisp, clean, fine boy, sharp guy, sharp girl. Get out of the house. Okay. So I mean, tell me, what do you think about that?
Okay, so I guess that's
no. What do you think about
one? I like the idea of that. It sounds convenient.
But if I'm living in the house, I have to be checking how heavy is the snow. I mean, how mighty, how strong is it?
I know. Can be stressful, especially if you have like a huge driveway. Oh my gosh!
Because I said I'm really taking it easy with you today. I'm not really coming so hard. I'm just giving my points.
No, you really have. In fact, I made your first point for you, so because you just wrote off the point that I made, right? So, but
I had it. It's one of the points I have already.
Okay, so I give it Team Condo 1, Team House 1. Good. Okay, so
number 2, right?
Now let me talk about what I love about houses. Right? Okay. I love the fact that I would say you have more privacy. I'll put it that way.
Is it within the house or around the environment?
Just around the environment in general.
How does that really matter to me?
So it matters to some people. Like, for instance, I've been in condos where, I don't know if anyone can relate to this, where you're just taking an elevator ride and you just feel the need to have a conversation with someone in the elevator.
Or you want to kiss your wife in the elevator or something like that.
I mean, it could be that as well.
But in a house, you don't have elevator.
But I'm just saying the fact that you don't have to worry about coming up with like an awkward conversation. Like, so the weather was great today. Like, we all know that sometimes we just don't really want to have this conversation.
But I can choose not to answer you. I don't have to answer you.
Well, then it's rude when you just enter an elevator and then you see someone in there. You can't even say hi, good morning, good afternoon. You just keep quiet. First, what floor are you going to? Floor 7. And everybody's quiet till you both get to like the 20th floor.
But that's just for like few minutes. How does it really matter to me?
For an introvert, it might matter. If you're an introvert and you don't like having conversation with people, maybe you should consider getting a house because you don't.
I think the audience should judge that. You really think that's a very, very valid reason.
It is. Trust me,
not to buy a condo, not to live in a condo. I don't think so.
It is. Then
no, it's 1-1. It's just 1.
No, I'm 2-1. I'm a point ahead now.
I haven't said my home point.
Okay, sorry. What's your point then?
Take it easy. I'm so easy today, so you don't have to.
Okay. What's your point?
So there's something about condo. Mm-hmm. Have you ever imagined living in downtown, maybe Bay Street, and you're living like probably on the 40th floor, right? Okay. And it's night, and you can have a city view of all the lightning.
Who view help?
Guess what? I'm so critical of that.
Okay.
Right? Because life is, things are happening every day. Right, and there's something about visuals. Why do you think people take a walk to just look at flowers, to just look at trees? Right?
Oh, true. There's a therapeutic aspect.
So just imagine coming out of the house to your balcony, and then you could just seeing the lightning. Like it's just light. Just looking beautiful. You're seeing the beauty of the city at night. You can never.
But that's if you have the right. But that's if you have the right units. Some units are facing other units.
Well, which is why if you want to buy a condo, you need to look at what really matters to you, right? And then you have the option, of choosing which floor, what size is it facing the north, the east, the west, to know where you want to buy from. That's it. But I think it's a very good.
I'll give you that.
For me, whenever I probably go on Airbnb or just tell, I see that view. And I'm like, different. Oh, wow, it's so beautiful. Yeah, it's very different. Yeah.
I hear you. In fact, I will forgive.
That's 2-1, right?
That's 2-2. Well, the same points now. Please, let's get the math right. It's 2-2. So I will forgive, me personally, I would forgive the size of a unit for the right view. Have you been to condos like that? Where
just like a box.
They're like small, which goes to my third point, by the way. Yeah. I'm coming for you for the size, but I'm just saying it's small, but then the views, like, there's a view from the north. There's a view from the east.
Yeah.
Those kind of condos, they're nice.
Why am I even saying yeah? Right. Nice. Yeah, because you're saying what you're agreeing that I deserve that second point, right? Okay, which is good. You're just a very nice guy.
So condos, you get a nice view.
Yeah, you get a very nice view.
Goes to my other concern for condos is the size, especially in Toronto. We know what these are shoe boxes, my guy. These are like. It says 1+, then even the one, you're not even sure if it's a full one. Talk less of the den. The den, it looks like a real den. Like just 4 walls around you.
No, but I think the thing with this is the fact that Your affordability, right, gives you, it's an option to say it's what you can afford, you get, right? Because these houses are in square foot, right? So there's 400, there's 0 to 499,
right?
There's 500, there's 700, there's 800, right? So it's really up to the cash you have.
But you're paying condos, you're paying like 2,500, upwards of 2,500.
But people,
and you can't walk
but the
like
beauty
10
is,
steps.
But the beauty is, people look at a lot of things. They look at comfort. They look at the ease. They look at, I'm already giving you a point. They look at the, how comfortable it is to live in a condo. It's kind of very stress free. Okay, we've spoken about the snow, for example.
Have you tried moving into a condo? You think it's stress-free?
That's just one-off.
Okay.
I'm moving into one-off.
Okay,
I can always book the condo with the management to book for the day, and then the particular elevator is
And what if when 10 people are moving in at the same time on that same day?
I mean,
if it's a Saturday.
They always schedule things.
Please don't move into a condo on a Saturday. Don't do that.
No,
to
don't
yourself.
do that. Don't do that.
Just get a weekday off work and just move in on a weekday.
Yeah, but I think for me again, like buying a house is like a trade-off.
Right.
You have to look at what matters to you. Right, and then be able to sit down. It's like doing a real calculation. You have to sit down, analyze, like probably open a chart and say, condo, townhouse, and you put yourself in the middle.
What's a townhouse for the benefit of our viewers?
Townhouses. Okay, so they're all called condos, right? But one is called condominium, like high-rise condos,
right?
Which is typical what you find in downtown, like those beautiful, like I said, buildings, all glass, beautiful, nice. Very nice. We have your concierge services.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry. I mean, these are the ones that
party room,
gym room, all of those things. Oh my God, that's like I'm eating you. That's like 5 points already. I've listed like 5 things already, right?
Okay.
So that's
just 1 point. You just have you have amenities.
Yeah, but that alone changes a lot of things compared to a house, because number one, you have to spend your money. If you want to have a gym, spend your money.
Oh, true.
Condominium have swimming pools, still part of amenities.
Not all, but
I mean some have swimming pools, okay. Right? Which means, during winter, right? And even some doing summer. Doing summer, right? And some even during winter, they have the hot bath.
Yeah.
Right, where you can always go. Now, for you in a house,
I have to go to the
you
gym,
have to purchase those things yourself, and it's going to come additional cost.
True.
Right.
True.
So ask him the difference. Your condo is your typical high-rise, tall building, 40 floor, 20, 50, whatever. The townhouse are housed on the rolls.
They're more horizontal than
just think
vertical.
of what you typically call your terraces.
Yeah.
It could be a terrace. It could be just rows of 4. Some could be in rows of 6. Some could be in rows of 8. And some could be as long as possible. Right. So those are townhouses. They're also condominium because they have a corporation. They have a condo fee, and they have a management that manages it, like things like the roofing, maintenance, all those things. Right. But the difference is the design of the house. One is tall.
But for the sake of simplicity, you're talking about condos like high rises. I'm talking about just standalone
houses,
properties, or even townhouses, but that are without condominium fees.
Yeah.
Okay, so that goes to my fourth point, because
I've mentioned like.
No. So
I've lost. I think our audience can actually tell already. I've mentioned.
So we can backtrack. So what you said so far is in.
Amenities.
For condos, you said amenities.
I said
you've spoken about the view.
The view.
I've spoken about the
snow.
Ease of just living the property during
just call it snow life.
Snow life, right? Okay.
So let me tell you how important that is and how huge that is. People even decide the kind of province they want to move to just because of the snow.
Well, true. I mean, if you're coming to Canada, you should expect snow.
Yeah, but people can now choose to say that, you know what, I don't want to go to some location because of how snowy it is and the kind of size of snow they get every winter.
Right.
Why some be like, you know what, some are it's milder in some provinces.
Right.
Even in some cities within some provinces. Within some provinces, it's also milder, the kind of snow they get.
I mean, for your house to your...
So now thinking about flipping it to someone buying a house. Mm-hmm. If someone can make a decision as to where to live because of snow, now think of it from buying a house, which is like a major decision you have to make, right? So it's very, very critical. That's like 5 points in one. That snow alone is eating like 5.
It's still 1 point, bro. No,
okay, I give it to you. Like I said, I'm really very chill today.
Okay, so now let me make my next point, right? You said something very important when you're talking about the difference between a condo and a condo townhouse.
Yeah.
But now let's assume we're talking about a freehold property, like a freehold house, meaning aside from your mortgage, your property taxes, and your utility bills, you're not paying any additional fees.
In a house, right?
For the house. With condos, as you know, there are maintenance fees that you need to pay. So in addition
for the great facilities you're enjoying.
Whatever
for your swimming pool, for your gym, for your sauna, for your barbecue spot, for your concert services.
For whatever reason it might be, you're paying your mortgage, You're paying your property taxes.
Yeah.
For your units. Then you're paying a maintenance fee, which could go from anywhere from 300
But you're paying property tax as well in any house.
But you're paying a maintenance fee is just my point.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, so I will eat you on that. Now, the difference between, like, I'm paying maintenance and I don't have to worry about roof leakage. So, for example, if there's any major structural defect in the building, it is on you.
In my house,
in your house, let's say your roof
True.
is dilapidated and you have to fix it.
I have to carry
that's
that
on
cost.
you,
that's the
right?
Okay.
Let's say there's a natural disaster, right?
God forbid.
Yeah, I mean, which is nature, right? Happens and then tears up your fence. You have to think about that.
You have to carry that cost as
right?
well. Okay.
Let's say there's a seepage in your basement for whatever reason, even if you have an insurance, which can be an excuse, right?
Right.
But the inconvenience, right, of having to move out of your house and go into an insurance, right? And they have to pay insurance as well. I'm paying insurance in a condo for for just my household items.
Yeah.
Right? But you are paying insurance for everything. For household, for the house, right?
For condos, you still pay property insurance.
That's what I'm already paying on property tax.
Yeah, but
it's already on the management fee I'm paying.
Sometimes.
Yes.
Okay,
they've already added it.
added
It's not like
to that.
it's not an isolated cost.
True.
Right?
True.
But
Okay.
for you, it's a different cost entirely.
Yep.
Now, on top of that,
It's not like 500 like your maintenance.
whatever
fees.
it is.
For sure.
But again, I mean, if I parade the kind of things I'm enjoying, if I see something I'm enjoying, I think it's worth it, right? Just thinking about the fact that I don't have to think about or save an extra money like you would always do. You have an extra money you're saving
Right.
to cover those issues, right? Those roof leakage, whatever could ever happen,
Right.
defect to the
Right.
house. You want to think of how to maintain it, crack on the wall, those kind of things, right? If you don't have to bother about that with a condo, like you're basically kind of covered, right? If anything is to go wrong with the property, it's why you're paying your maintenance fee. The
Right.
corporation, the condominium management will take care of that.
Yes.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. So now, have you? I've had situations where clients, right?
I know where you're going to. I know where you're going to.
So no, because you mentioned this, so since you brought it up, I might as well. Okay, so then they are living in a property where in condos like there's the apartments below you, there are units above you, units beside you, whatever, and then there's a leakage in the units upstairs.
Yeah.
Had nothing to do with you. You're
Yeah.
just chilling, doing your own thing, and then it messes up your entire ceiling. So now, even though it goes on somebody else, it goes on the condo corporation to fix that. Just the inconvenience. Because now someone has done something in their own units,
Yeah.
and now it has impacted you. Let's even talk about fires. How many condo fires happen sometimes?
Yeah.
There's a fire alarm. Oh my gosh!
And
there's
it's
a fire
just-
alarm at 2 a.m. in the morning, and everybody in the building has to come out because
Yeah.
someone was cooking at like ungodly hours, and then now everybody has to. So that inconvenience. Come on.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay, I give it to you. I
That's-
give it to you, which is fine.
That's too much.
I think I'm giving it to him for the first time. Like, okay, let me concede. I mean, and
Right.
that's valid for sure.
Right.
I mean, it really can be a big, inconvenience, to you, looking
It's
at that.
huge. Most man, you have like
It's
a
huge.
baby, and then you have
Yeah.
to go downstairs at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Some people don't even bother leaving the units, which is not safe. I'm not recommending that, but I'm just saying, I'm very, very inconvenient.
Yeah,
Especially if you have work the next morning.
If there's a fire alarm, a call to get to the monster points. I mean, everyone should. I will encourage you to comply because you really cannot tell the level of
Severity,
damage or
yeah.
severity of what's about to go down. So I think it's always good to comply.
Right.
But
Yeah, so I think I'm leading with that very,
Yeah.
very potent point.
Okay, so I think for me again is the fact that I have a concierge service, right? Let me talk about the security, right? The security in a condominium,
Okay.
right? Hardly will you find breakage, or breaking into a condo to say someone broke into my apartment. I mean, it's I've never heard of any. Maybe you have. I haven't heard of any.
I've heard of people I saw it on social media, people being followed into their units.
Yeah.
But I get your point.
It's really, it's really a very safe
Especially
spot.
now with a lot of break-ins.
Yeah, break
all
into
over
the
Toronto
house,
and stuff like that,
yeah.
which is getting wild.
Yeah, you won't. I mean, with a condo, you hardly even. I mean, it may happen, right? It's not, but it's not really what you're actually thinking or envisaging as a concern.
Right.
Like as a going every day trying to fix a camera. Do you know how much they've made for me people that are living in houses? Camera people putting living as
cameras
if,
everywhere.
looking at you're basically living on guard every day. There's camera in the front. There's camera at the back. There's camera by the door. And you're basically coming back and checking
Cameras
out.
everywhere.
So a lot of things. But with a condo, you don't there's really nothing for you to think about from a security perspective, right? And if you live in a very good condo, a beautiful condo. Like, for example, there's one condo, I don't know if I can mention the name.
Don't.
I mean...
Except they're giving you, the rights to sell
in North York, I just got one of my clients there, and it was pretty very good. Like, even for you to get access into the condo, like...
I know there's a lot of... I feel like sometimes
the security is really... And even this one, you won't even see anybody. Is they have the security machine that you have to speak into, they have to... your visa, your host need to give you the code
for you to
punch, so it kind of,
which is nice.
And people look out for those kind of things, right? It kind of gives some level of safety.
But then you just mentioned a very valuable place. Like if you're getting a condo in North York, I mean, that's
even
nice.
even like
Midtown
that's
nice.
pretty very nice. Midtown are pretty very new, beautiful properties, and I think it's about the condominium management.
Yeah,
I don't want to mention their name. I don't want to give them free hands. If you want us to...
Okay, now, so can I touch
on...
So
that's also a very major issue. Security, right? That's big. You just can't take away the fact that people bother so much about security, right? Every area of our lives, people are buying cars for security features. Right? People are buying things, living in cities based on security.
Okay.
Right? So looking at it from a business perspective, condo offers you that security structure, right? It's more safe to live in a condo as against a townhouse. Like I said,
I won't say more safer.
I mean, like I said, it's safer.
I'll say it's a little bit safer.
It's safer because I don't have to bother about spending money on camera. I don't have to be watching over myself, watching over my back, my front. I mean, it can be very annoying having cameras in the front. They come knocking on your door. Oh my God! Another very beautiful point.
Soliciting.
You don't have that. There's that level of privacy.
Okay, can I make my next point?
Okay. I'll hold on.
Okay, so how many? I'm trying to figure out how many points you've made so far now.
I spoke about the safety. Yeah. I spoke about the view, the beautiful serenity.
Okay.
I spoke about the amenities. Snow.
And snow as well.
Number 4. Yeah.
Okay, so I spoke about the fact that you have space.
Yeah.
More space in the house, obviously. But I spoke about the fact that you have your privacy as well, right? I spoke about the fact that you don't have to book on like Uber to take the elevator downstairs.
Yeah.
In the house. And then so now my 4th point would be I feel like we really underestimate like how noisy condos are.
Okay.
Right? Especially if you're like in a unit. I mean, you guys can testify to this, right? If you ever stayed in a unit that is close to the elevator, oh my gosh, people are having conversations like just in the middle of the night.
But the apartment is soundproof some way. I mean, which is why you have to look out for the kind of ask those questions. We're going to buy a condo.
I mean, what are you going to ask? How much insulation did you put in my wall?
Yeah, to know how insulated it is.
How much?
Right?
No, you can't ask that question. Like, there's only so much you can ask, right? So you're like, there's so much noise in condominium bills.
But it's not that bad.
And even, trust me, it can be annoying. And even during the day, in a work meeting, if you work from home as well. And then like I had a client, for instance, right? She just told me this. In fact, she's planning on moving out of her condo. Why? She was having a meeting the other day, and in the middle of the meeting, she just hear like a hammer sound.
Right?
And then she's like, "Where's this noise coming
from?" But that
from?
happens also. But also, I mean, if you live in a semi-detached, right, that also happens.
But the chances of that happening are very, very slim. So, which is the point I'm trying to make, right? She's like, "Where's that noise coming from?" So she walked all through her floor. The noise wasn't coming from her floor. So she went to the next floor because she had a presentation at work, very, very important presentation. So she went to the next floor. The noise wasn't coming from that floor.
Wow.
Exactly. So she went to the third, like 2 floors above her
to figure out.
That's where the noise was coming from because someone was doing a renovation in their units in the middle of the day.
No, that must have been a really huge machine.
Whatever they were doing.
I mean, for that sound to be that.
So she had to tell them that basically, guys, please, do you mind just not making noise at least for the next 1 hour after my presentation? But
guess what? The beautiful thing with condo also is, if there's going to be a major renovation like that, you're expected to inform the condo management.
But as long as you inform them, then no other unit holder can hold you accountable.
But then they also inform all the units. I mean, everyone in the unit. That's a beautiful thing. You get notices.
But that's not.
But you can plan your life. What's the purpose of giving you notice? For you to plan your life, you know that. I mean, someone is moving. There's going to be a moving. I mean, you see it posted on the.
Do you know how many people live in a condominium unit? So I have to plan my life based on other, like 200 other people's renovation plans.
But that's it. But the beautiful thing is, it's not happening to you spontaneously. You are aware of it, right? So you could choose to go into the office.
I don't agree with you. Guys, do you agree with him? Like,
I mean,
what I have to plan my own life based on 200 other people's renovation plans? What does that have to do with me? I just want to live. I just want to attend.
But at the barest minimum, I'm saying at the barest minimum, if you live in a semi-detached,
okay,
that can also happen.
But the chances of that happening are 1 in.
Can it happen? Yes or no?
1 over 2.
Can it happen? Yes or no?
That's a 50% probability.
Can it happen? Yes or no?
It's May.
Okay, so
but the chances are very slim. Very slim.
I'm trying to compare apples for apples.
Okay.
Now, in case it's going to happen in a semi-detached, you're not even required to give notice.
True.
To your neighbor.
I mean,
right?
A polite neighbor would. You
I don't need to give you any notice. I don't need to give you. I'm not compelled.
Yeah, remind me. I don't want you to. I don't want you to be my neighbor.
I'm not expected to. I mean, there's no obligation. There's no. I mean, restriction.
It's the right thing to do. Just let me know. Hey,
based on
I'm trying to.
What is right is very relative. Right? In this argument now, for morality's sake, you should do that. Okay? But we're saying for this, because I need to win him. Okay? So for this argument, you don't have to do that.
Okay.
It's your prerogative. Mm-hmm. However, in a condo, you're not caught unawares.
But there are 4 people that can make that noise. So you have the person above you. If you're not living at the corner units, the person on your left, the person on your right, and the person below you, and even the person 2 floors ahead.
But the point is, they won't do that. They won't do that at the same time. They won't be noticed at the same time.
How do you know? Do you have control of that?
I don't have a control of that. But at least I'm aware.
That your aware doesn't impact the noise.
So this implication of it.
So okay.
If I don't have a serious meeting, right, and I'm aware there's a notice already pasted to say that between this period and this period, it's going to be happening. Now, if I know I have a very important meeting, okay, I could easily just go get a hub. Like lease a hub for 30 minutes. Just get.
I should go into the office.
I'll go into the office, right, for just that particular.
That is not fair on me.
But you're aware of what you're getting yourself into. It. I mean, it's not coming to you accidentally. You're aware of it. In a townhouse, in a semi-detached,
right?
Your neighbor wouldn't even think of it. Only a very civil neighbor would think of informing you. So you can see that even if both were to happen, which can happen in both,
but the chances
property
are higher
structure,
in the condominium units because there are
quite a lot. Yeah,
exactly.
So it's half. You don't have it. It's not a strong point because I can negate that point.
No, you cannot.
I'm negating that point.
No, you can't. My point is my point.
Anyway, I know our great listeners, right? Who are the judge, the umpire.
Please be the judge.
Please just put your score. My name is. If you're joining for the first time, my name is Joe. And his name is Nasser. I even had to pronounce. I don't know if it's Nasser, but look at Joe. Joe so easy. So just put it there and say Joe, 3 points. Joe, you have a good point for saying that. Okay, that's what we want to hear from you. Be the judge. So this man will not harass me. He's already intimidating me already.
Okay, so let's just say.
But on a lighter note, I mean, I agree with you. I mean, it's you have.
No, even if you don't agree with me, I agree with myself.
Okay. So that's like 5-4.
Yeah, which I'm leading.
I'm leading 5.
How are you leading 5 points? No,
we're going to check the score on the chat.
Okay, now so what's your point?
So my other point is, help me up. I'm trying to remember. I spoke about the snow, the amenities, the view. Mm-hmm. I mean, you don't have to worry about having to maintenance, all those things. Mm-hmm. And I think another very beautiful thing with condo is the privacy. I mean, if you've ever lived in a townhouse or a detached, these guys doing sales can just always come and knock on your door. Any time of the day. They don't even care if you're sleeping. They don't care what you're going through. And again, that's what they do, right? That's their life. Like, that's a business.
I mean, you knock on people's doors as well.
Absolutely. You know why? So think about that. Just someone just knocking on your door when you're having a meeting. Again, that same meeting that he's talking about.
Right.
And you're like, oh my God, do you know how tiring it is? The fact that probably you're expecting someone, a real, like a proper planned host.
Right.
And then you're excited and you just get to the door.
It's like a marketing person here. Are you thinking of selling your house? Especially realtors, I agree, we're actually guilty of that a lot. We did door knocking. So, but in a condo, you can't do that, right? So there's that level of privacy. I mean, they can't even come to your floor to even do it. So that's really very, very good. Because some people do complain. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sure we can relate to that. It can be very annoying sometimes. Yeah.
When you have someone just from Bell, from whatever, from the telecom.
You guys just said Bell. A company.
I mean,
Bell,
those guys.
Bell, we mean Bell, like ringing a bell. I don't know.
They just go knock on your door. Anyone like trying to, to sell a product.
Yeah,
right?
I think the most annoying one is when you actually like when you're already with an internet provider and then the internet provider's rep comes to knock on your door.
I'm trying to sell.
I'm like, bro, I already used you. Like,
why are you coming to knock on my door? Right? I really can very annoying.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
You know, I think, what's next for you? Anything to say?
I will give you, again, this point I'm trying to make, it kind of like ties into noise as well. But now I'll focus on, so the first point I made.
I found the point.
I'll say that's internal noise, right? So I spoke about noise that comes from the elevator. Sometimes, so now I'm talking about noise that comes from even outside. Because those
road noise.
Exactly, because condos, as we know, often are usually like in the hustle and bustle.
City, downtown, beautiful
downtown
city.
Toronto,
where it's
downtown
happening, ease of transportation, you know.
Okay, sure. Downtown Mississauga, right? But then the noise from the streets, those cities, people don't sleep. Like downtown, 3 a.m. people are still
but
doing
the noise
their
is,
thing.
but they are well insulated against road sound because
you can still hear that noise from
it's
your room,
elevated.
Oh, no, I'm almost saying, but it's still noisy. It's still noisy. And then there's also even just during winter or during like seasons where there's a lot of wind.
Wind gusts, you can hear the sound of the wind.
You can hear the wind, right? Just
but
so
even in the house, you hear
even in
the house, you get the sound of the wind. But it is different.
Hardly.
But it's different. You're not bothered.
Are you living in?
You're not thinking about your roof.
Are you living in a hut? Like, how do you hear the wind from outside?
But in a condo, even when you hear it, you just know that it's the wind, and that's it. And I mean, it's the country you live in, right? When it's winter, it's windy. You can't do anything about it.
Blaming Canada
right?
now. So
but in a townhouse, or in a house,
right?
When it's windy, you're scared. Are you sure my roof is not off?
No, I don't think I've ever experienced like wind in a house that made me feel like, okay, something's about to happen. No,
but it happened. We had an incident happen.
Not a few weeks ago.
People roof were ripped off.
Yeah, that was ripped. But that's a one-off. That's a chance of that happening.
But again, I mean, everything we're saying is a probability. Yeah, right. Some are real, like they're gonna happen to you. For example, the security thing. You don't bother yourself about it. Real. Like people coming to knock on your door, it happens. Like I'm sure probably some are even experiencing it today.
And you know, and guys, just to give the viewers a tip, I saw this on I think it was the Peel Region Police or someone that said this, but they basically said if you are not like if people if someone knocks on your door, instead of not answering, I think you should actually answer the door. Why? Because what has happened exactly? So that's a good question. Because what happened was that in a particular instance, right? People, guys that were trying to break in or whoever it was knocked on the door,
and they thought there was nobody here.
Exactly, and then they broke in, and that puts you at like risk, right? As opposed to you saying, "Oh, who is that?" I mean,
I could scare them for those that just want to break in, thinking no one is in the house.
Especially if you know, like you're the only one at home.
Yeah.
I think it's a good just respond and just ask, and just be like, "Oh, sorry, I'll call you back." Or just pretend like you're talking to the police station, to the police or something. If someone sketches at your door and you see it through your door camera or something, that's just a pointer for people.
No, but I think that's a very good security,
getting alarmed
pointer.
And stuff.
Yeah. Okay, something just came to my mind. I don't know if you've ever had this situation where you order for something either from Amazon or from any of these companies, and then
I already know you're
and then it's a big box, and then it's delivered to your door.
That can happen,
and then you can't find it again. Now that only happens in houses. That can never happen in a condo because there's a concierge service. If you order, no matter how huge it is or how small it is, it's two options. Either it's dropping your mailbox or it's dropping the concierge based on the size. So you're never thinking about your order being stolen. Even people's food. People order food, and then the guy from wherever company delivers the food, dropped it, and like you come out of your door, you can't find another one again. Oh my god, go on.
Now to your food point.
That's 6.
No, to your food point, right?
Yeah.
I saw a video on social media this week where a delivery guy had an altercation or an argument with the concierge service. Why? The concierge guy didn't want the guy to go upstairs with the food that the Uber guy, whoever brought to the condo, and so that guy just put the food like on the bin downstairs. So talking about deliveries,
but guess what? I can always hold the condo. I can hold the condo responsible for that. Because no, if I want to take it up, because the concierge, the guy from Uber, from the delivery company,
he wanted to go upstairs, but the concierge was like, "No, you can't go upstairs."
Probably there's a rule, which is the security you're talking about. You can just go in.
My food is gonna get cold though. Like why?
Then call the person to come down and get it.
Well, which is what the concierge was saying, but he couldn't get through to the person because he was trying to call the person.
Okay,
and the person wasn't coming down.
You're not going to blame that on the building to say this is why condo is not good.
No, I'm just saying. So my point is, if you value hot food,
you can always microwave it. Like you can always eat your food up, right?
Fresh, but in all seriousness, I'm just saying.
How food do you eat fresh food?
I'm just saying.
How food do you eat fresh food?
My wife cooks fresh food for. Let me not lie. I eat fresh food when I feel like eating fresh food. I'll just leave it at that.
Exactly.
Okay, but my point is basically that My point is basically that the concierge can also be an inconvenience because sometimes they do the most.
Yeah,
sometimes.
absolutely.
But I get that they're doing
and you have
their
it
job.
right. As a matter of fact, you have if you feel that your service of a condo is not good enough, the condo management, I mean the board
they're not going to fire someone because of you.
I mean, you can always, no. I'm saying if it's a repetitive, issue, like everyone is complaining about it, right? You can always request the condominium management to replace the concierge, right? Exactly.
There's that part.
Like you have that option. Okay. Like it's fee for service, right? There's so you can always make adjustments that you don't want the service.
Shout out to our concierges though.
Yeah, they are doing a lot of job. It's not easy.
They deal with like the weirdest
situations. Yeah. Shout out to them. They're doing a lot of job. To be honest, very honest guys. And again, another point I just thought about is I don't know if you ever experienced. Raccoon.
Really? Are you actually going to bring that point?
I mean, yeah,
really going to make raccoons. To the,
raccoons, like polar bears.
Can you guys imagine this guy?
Like if you live in some very remote areas, you could have polar bears. You can have a lot of animals. Like I remember all the time.
Have you ever seen a polar bear in Canada since you came to Canada?
Which is why I said if you live in some remote areas. Right, fine. But raccoon is always like raccoon is as good as being your neighbor. Raccoon is like, as a matter of fact, if you live in your house, ownership is shared between you and raccoons. Like your ownership is 50-50. You see them on your fence. You see them at at the back of your house. Even if you're not careful, even at night, you find them on your driveway.
Yeah.
If you have a garage and it's open, you find them. Like for example, people that keep garbage right in the garage. Right.
Okay.
I mean, you can always find them. You wake up in the morning. Your garbage is upside down. Cats have, even the cats, rats, everything, all this pest comes in to disturb you. You're not going to find that in a condo.
Okay, so to your point, you're talking about, so if we're talking about rodents and things like that.
Yeah, pests, call them anything. Okay. They are pests, they are rodents. Don't make them look good.
Well, have you ever seen, units that are next to the garbage chute in condos?
Okay.
It can start to smell bad.
Yeah,
that happened in condos.
But again,
can I finish my point, please?
Okay, finish your point.
Because now you're talking about garbage and raccoons and stuff like that. So now I'm saying that if you're in a unit close to a garbage chute,
I think we've lost count.
And someone has to live next to the garbage chute because the units can be all empty, right? It might have a certain smell that you know, like number one, number two. If there happens to be bed bugs in your condo building, oh my gosh! Now everyone might start experiencing that because it doesn't take much for a bed bug in unit A to go to unit 2, unit B, and then now everybody has to start. So it can be a messy situation, right?
Yeah.
If you live in your own house, you take care of your house, you clean your own thing. Because I'm just saying that to the effect that if in a condo, if your neighbor is not
very hygienic,
is not on the clean side of things, then that can end up impacting your own unit, even though you do all the things that you need to do.
Everything right.
Especially if you're a person that you're a neat freak and you just like things. So if you want to be in control of your space, you want to have that cleanliness.
But it's not that bad like that.
He's saying it's not that bad.
But okay, this is the thing again. Even with a house,
okay.
If you live in a semi-detached, if you live in a condo townhouse, right? That's even worse.
Because you're still saying a condo townhouse is still a condo, bro. That's on your side.
No, we're talking about high rise, right? My beautiful high rise.
A condo townhouse is still a condo.
Okay, even if it's a semi-detached, even if it's a detached. If the person that bought in you, even if the person that bought in your property, right, is not very hygienic, they don't cut their grass. Like they have their garbage behind their house. It can also, it also costs a lot of things.
I'm just saying you have it within your own control.
Guess what? It will invite more raccoons, and raccoons will be raccoons, cats, like all this. Like cats are even very good. Like people that take care of their cats don't have issues with cats, but raccoons is not a pet. Right? Nobody owns raccoon.
You might decide to.
Maybe you want to start one to help save Canada, save raccoon.
I should start a GoFundMe for that.
But I think for real, the lesson of saying this is just to give you an idea of the beauty of a condo, which I appreciate so much,
and the beauty
of a house, which is also very very exciting to know. So I know the point for you is as a buyer to look at what matters to you.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, why do you want a condo?
Absolutely.
Right? Condo is kind of even more affordable some way, right? Which is
way more in today's market, especially.
So it gives you a very good value point to say, you know what? I mean, I want to buy a house. I want to have ownership. I want to invest, but I can't afford to buy, the
house, 4-bedroom, right? Which is a point for you, in all fairness, because condos are generally more affordable.
Yeah, more affordable.
Generally
They're more
speaking.
affordable. If you look
Yeah,
at it
so-
from a cost management perspective,
Yeah.
they're more affordable. So, but again, I mean, houses are also very beautiful. I own a house, right? I mean, it's kind of very, it's convenient, like you said. I could modify things the way you want to modify things. I'm not being bothered with sound from a neighbor. I mean, all the points you mentioned, like I enjoy those points. Except the fact that, if my roof were to get damaged, I have to figure out how to money, which usually. So it's always like a burden to people because it's an additional cost. People that are not envisaging,
they have to carry on.
They have to carry on,
True.
But again, on the condos, I also pay maintenance fee, which increases every year.
Yeah.
When the company do the assessment, they have to make sure that there's enough money in the
reserves.
in the reserve for overall maintenance to keep things running. So I think overall, I mean, fair point for both. I think to the condos, I mean,
Team house as
but
well.
but you guys know who won today, right?
house.
For sure. I'm always winning this guy. But today I decided to go very chill, just take it easy. But even with that, I had almost like 10 points. Very strong points.
I made too many points. I can't remember how many points I made, but I'm just saying each has its own benefits and considerations.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, let's just, let's
see
decide what works for your family. So, what team are you on? Team condo,
what
team
team are you
house?
on? Let's know. I mean, if you have any other point, any other reason why you've bought a condo,
maybe something
bought
that we
a
missed
house,
out.
something
Yeah,
we missed
let
out,
us
just
know.
put in the comment section. We'd like to hear from you to know what you think. I also want to learn from you. To know why you bought a condo. Why did you buy a house?
Or why did you buy a house as well?
Yeah.
Wanna
Well,
know.
I'm already saying it for you already now.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Because I want you, so I need to make you feel good.
Okay, sure.
All right. Okay, great.
All right,
Great.
guys.
Thank you so much
Good conversation.
for coming on this challenge today.
And
I didn't tell you it was going to be a challenge.
It was a
but
privilege being able to school you in terms of
oh my God.
only the condo, only the house. So like, subscribe, share. Once again, this is the YRJ podcast.
Thank you so much.
See you guys next time.
See you next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
Take care, guys.
Take care.